Morning, Jungle Bob here, Friday afternoon. So this is going to be a video about a catastrophic failure on a Kawasaki V20 engine because no oil in the crankcase. So if you're interested to see what happens when you don't have oil in your crankcase and you continue to run your engine, stay tuned. We'll get right into it. Guys, Jungle Bob here. So we've got this Kawasaki FR691V twin engine here. Now back in the summer I put a head on this thing. I believe it was cylinder number 2. So yesterday, or a couple of days, yesterday he calls me up and he's out in the field. He says it just stopped. So we checked the battery, the starter wouldn't turn the flywheel. So he brings it over here, and I go through my checks on it while he's here. And I couldn't turn the flywheel by hand. So while I had him on the phone before he brought over here, I said, has it got any oil in it? Oh yeah, it's got plenty of oil in it. So after I couldn't get the flywheel to turn, I pulled the old dipstick out, the telltale dipstick, and no oil in it. None. And there was a little drop on the bottom to start with, and it was solid black. But there was no oil to be mentioned in this engine at all. So I've taken it off the engine, off the motor now, and I'm going to show you what happens when you don't check your oil before you use your mower. And I don't care if you're supposed to check it every day. It's the first instruction in the owner's manual is to check your oil after you go through your safety checks. But this is what can happen, and this is a rather expensive engine here, a very costly mistake not to check your oil. So guys, please check your oil every time you use it, every time. But I'm going to tear this thing apart and show you what it looks like on the inside. You'll be surprised in some aspects that it didn't break connecting rods, this, that, and the other. But I'm just going to show you what happened. So we got the sump cover off this thing. It came off fairly easy, right? Okay. And let's look in here. So like I said, I can't turn the crankshaft at all, not with vice grips, not with channel locks, not with anything. I was able to get me some maneuvering and get the end caps off the connecting rods here, right? And the pistons are still moving if you force them a little bit, but I can move the pistons in and out, but I can't turn this crankshaft at all. So let me show you what the end caps look like. That's one of them. Check that out. Here's the other one. It was starting to groove pretty bad. There's the valve covers. The push rods look, they're not bent or anything. It got way hot. You could smell the odor when I pulled the sump cover. Too bad you can't do what they call smell-o-vision or whatever. Smell-a-tube. But I don't think the valve guides moved on it. I'm able to get pretty good movement. So I hadn't pulled the heads yet. I'm going to try to get this crankshaft out, so we're going to flip it over and I'm going to take the flywheel off and see if we can't get the crankshaft out so we can look at these, look inside the cylinder walls. But you probably can't see it on here good yet, but we'll look at the inside of that and see. I can see damage on the journal already. So no oil, guys, and look how black that is in there. All right, let me flip it over and we'll get the flywheel off and take a look at that. We got the flywheel off. The Woodruff key was good shape. Wasn't sheared or anything. So I guess what I'm going to try to do here is knock this crankshaft through and see if we can get the crankshaft out so we can look at it closer. So this thing's giving me a lot of trouble. So my brass hammer's broke, so I'm just going to take my 5-pound sledge here and do it like this. You want to wear safety goggles if you got them. I'm breaking all the rules. So Looks like we're getting it to move just a little bit. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna flip it over and see what we got. I'm gonna do some more hammering on it. It's coming. So I'm gonna keep on and continue doing this, and we'll get her soon. I can't go any further. I'm gonna have to pull this head off this side because this connecting rod is gonna stop it from coming all the way out. So we're gonna pull the head off. I was hoping I could get it out without having to do that, but oh well. We got the head off. There's your valves. Look at this exhaust valve. Whew. That thing got hot. Like I said, you can smell it. Anyway, there's your piston. Let's push that on out, see what we got. Believe it or not, the rings look good on it. See what this cylinder wall looks like. Actually, it's not that bad. I can hone that. That's provided just once we get the crankshaft out. We know we're going to have a crankshaft for sure, I'm positive, if we're even going to try to rebuild this. But let's get the crankshaft out and take a look at the rest of it. Guys, so here is the top part of the crankshaft. Look at all that. That's where it was seized up at for sure. So that crankshaft is history. But look down in here. Let's see if I can get my phone down in there. And I doubt I can. Maybe a better shot like that. Hope you can see all that scoring in there. It's eat up bad. So this crankcase is also history. So there's no hope in rebuilding this. I mean, you'd have to start with a used motor, and maybe we can find a used one somewhere. So if anybody out there has got one, hold on, I'm gonna flip this camera over. Better. So like I said, if anybody out there happens to have a Kawasaki V-Twin 691V crankcase or used engine out there, in all my friends out there that wants to sell it at a reasonable price, a used Kawasaki V-Twin engine, please give me a holler. Leave me a message, email me, because I know my customer is going to be looking for one. But yeah, this is terrible. So once again, I don't know what he was, what was going on with the engine, but definitely always you need to check your oil each and every use, no matter what. There's no excuse, even if it was running poorly, if it was smoking, whatever it was doing. It's up to the operator to check their oil before they use it. So, it's sad that this has happened, and I'm sure I'm going to hear the, well, you just put a head on it, it's your fault excuse or claim against me. But, when I pull that dipstick out and it doesn't have any oil in it, that's not my fault. It needs to be checked before every use, and if it did have an issue, you should have brought it back. I mean, or whoever, not just me. Any shop will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. So, but there's no hope in rebuilding this. So, anyway, that's it. Please leave me some likes, leave some comments, subscribe to my channel. Tell me what your opinion is on this. Like I said, if anybody's got a used Kawasaki 691V or something similar, $700, whatever, holler at me. I might be interested in buying it from you. That's it. Jungle Bob out. Have a great weekend, guys.